Terry Jo here, and today I am in Linwood, Pennsylvania, swinging around to a little strip of stores here. And that, friends, is the old Jones's Pharmacy. Now, I don't recall what a lot of these stores used to be, but I do remember Jones's Pharmacy, and that was definitely in the 1970s. I don't recall exactly when Jones's Pharmacy closed, but there it is, friends, right there. Now we're at Chichester Avenue and Ward Street, and this is a hairdresser. Did this used to be called Wolf's? Maybe somebody can post in the comments. I think that's what it used to be called.
We're looking at the former Sun Oil Refinery, which was built in 1902. Now, I believe it's the Marcus Hook Industrial Complex.
This is the former site. I believe it was called Howard's. It was a store here on Huddle Avenue. And I'm spinning around here to, Lynwood Elementary School. Let me get a better shot. So we're looking down Huddle Avenue, and you can see in the distance, that's the refinery, what used to be Sun Oil. And I'm spinning around the Linwood Elementary School, and I've got a story.
In 1976, my brother Charlie and two of his friends, Dave and Jerry, I won't mention their last names, they broke into Linwood Elementary School. One of the two friends lit a fire in a closet, and it quickly burned out of control. They tried to put it out, and they couldn't. And the school burned to the ground. And that was my brother Charlie's 15 minutes. He burned the Linwood Elementary School down. Kids went to Marcus Hook. Kids went to Boothwyn and Trainer, because believe you me, no one was going to Linwood for a while. Now this is the building that was built after the fire.
We're swinging around to the old Marcus Hook Baptist Church. I used to go to Sunday school. That would be in 1972. Right here. Now it's the Bridge Church. Formerly Marcus Hook Baptist Church. Long time ago.
I worked at the Seafood Connection for close to 2 months in 1992. At the time, it was owned by a fellow named Russ. A customer came in, and he gave them a complimentary chicken. I put my hands on the chicken, and I said, "Compliments of Russ." Well, the customer left, and he forgot the chicken. Russ was pissed. He said, "Get that girl out of here. Get her out from that counter." And that was it. There went my career at the Seafood Connection.
This, my friends, is the former home of New London Pizza. Now I think it's C&S Soul Food. I had to get a better look at the sign, but I think that's what it says. Yeah. And I gotta tell you, they had good pizza. Anyone that lives in Linwood and has been here for a couple decades will remember New London Pizza. Chances are you had some pizza there. spinning around to, I believe this was Sunoco. It looks like they're remodeling it, and it will be Shell at some point. But yeah, the old Sunoco gas station. Of course, these are the grounds of the former Congoleum, a big employer in this area once upon a time. And now, oh my goodness gracious, it's just, I don't know if they're still open or not, to be honest. Maybe somebody can post in the comments below. Looking up Ridge Road and spinning around to the former Christie's. Anyone, again, who has lived in Linwood for a spell, like some people have lived in Linwood their entire lives, has likely spent time here at Christie's. And now it's an abandoned building, and it's been abandoned for quite some time. Let's talk about this building. In the 1980s and into the early 1990s, this used to be Moon's Deli. There was a brother and sister, Joe and Phyllis. Joe Moon, he was a nice man, very, very nice person. And Phyllis, if I recall, she passed away a while ago. I don't know exactly when, probably in the 1990s. If Joe was still alive, he would be in his 90s now. Because I knew Joe in the 80s and into the early 1990s. But it was a cheesesteak place, a sandwich shop, basically. Moon's Deli.
Long before this building was home to Moon's Deli, it was Chippy's Beverage. Now that was in the 1960s and into the 1970s. I've got a story about Chippy's.
So this is the back of Holy Savior, and I'm spinning around to the rear of what used to be Chip's Beverage. And that's where we used to go. And they would hold on to, like my sister would hold on to my ankles, and I was small and my little hands would reach into, I guess it was like a window. I can't recall, it's been so many years ago. This was in the early 1970s, like 1971, 1970, 71, maybe even 1972. And there was cases of sodas, and I was able to reach down there and grab some sodas, and it was such a thrill. There is the Ward Funeral Home. Sadly, we've all paid Ward Funeral Home a visit. Yeah, again, anyone that's lived in Lynwood for any amount of time has been to Ward Funeral Home to say goodbye to a good friend, a loved one. Yeah. This is the former site of the Fidelity Bank. I used to have an account at the Fidelity Bank in the 1980s and into the early 1990s. Of course, I moved out of Linwood in 93.
My father bought a home in Lynwood on White Avenue in 1968. I lived there until 1972. Then I moved back from 1985 until 1993.
This abandoned building used to be a restaurant. It was owned by Steve and Peggy Bogardus. I believe that was their names. And I'm going back, about maybe 30 years ago. Now, more recently, it was a Subway. And guys, there was never anybody in the Subway, like ever. I never saw any customers. And I was surprised it lasted as long as it did. Now, this is a busy intersection. So they may do something else with that building, I don't know. But they've built this intersection up over the years. Dunkin' Donuts. Spinning around to Mickey D's. That used to be houses there. Yep. And of course, okay, let me tell you a story.
In 1970, my mother was in a car with her significant other. His name was Tom. A semi-truck ran a stop sign, and there was an accident at this intersection. My mother was critically injured in that accident. She went through the windshield. She suffered a crushed chest, and she had to have a tracheotomy. That scar became a significant aspect of her physical appearance for the rest of her natural life. She was lucky to have survived that accident. We were all lucky that she survived. As a result of the accident, they put a traffic light at this intersection.
This is former home of the Dairy King. That's right, Dairy King. Not the Dairy Queen. Now it's Richmond's Ice Cream. But this has been an ice cream place for a very long time. Spinning around the old cemetery here. Looking up Lawhead Avenue, spinning around to Corner Pizza.
I mentioned earlier that my father bought a home on White Avenue in 1968. And this, my friends, is White Avenue. Most of these homes were built 70 years ago in 1955.
Can't really put the house where I grew up because people get funny about zooming in on a residence, but what we're coming up on is Baker's Field. Now, when I was a child, that hill, I thought it was a whole lot bigger than it really is, because your perception as a child is always so different. But there it is, Bakersfield. We used to hang out in the field. Yep. I'm not going to go up there, but it looks like there's like a baseball field up there or something. Yeah. But that hill, oh my gosh, it looks so much bigger when I was just a slip of a girl. There's the old Congoleum. It looks like there might be a little bit of activity there, but not much. And there used to be a big building right there where I'm, right there. I know that Coakley's is probably in Boothwyn and not Linwood, but I had to show this place. This used to be Mary's Tavern. We used to call it Scary Mary's Tavern. Back in, I think it was 86 or 87. I came by here to pick up my brother Charlie, and there was a barroom brawl. I can't tell you how many people came barreling out of that door at the same time. And Charlie emerged from the crowd. He was like coming in from behind. But oh my gosh, so many memories in this place. I just had to show Mary's Tavern, or now it's Coakley's, and bid you adieu. Thanks so much for stopping in and spending some time with me in Linwood, Pennsylvania. Peace, love, and Pink Floyd.